Audio Marks coming to you from the Sachem Public Library. Welcome to the Marks for Life podcast with your hosts, Jimmy, CJ, Jared, and Joe, the Four Horsemen of Wrestling Podcast, four casuals turned Marks wrestling fans to give you a direct line to all things in the squared circle. We pull no punches, we hit hard, and we will slam you with all the info you need to know. So, ladies and gentlemen, Marks of all ages, are you ready? Because...
You know what? You just made the list.
And welcome to this week's edition of Marks for Life Podcast. I am your new, reigning, defending, undisputed Marks for Life Podcast predictions of the world, CJ.
Carl Jones.
It's a sad day.
Yeah.
Well,
The music died.
It's a breakup of the most prominent tag team in Marks for Life podcasting history.
it's the only tag team.
Hey, no one questioned Kevin Owens when he was the Universal Champion.
I'm glad that the Lake Cool era of this title reign is just over.
I still
Yeah.
say it's Cammy.
We are soon to be two-time Traditions champions.
If this happens again, there's no way this can happen again.
We think way too similarly.
There's no way this can happen again.
I just think it's
Well, going forward, we should obviously put plans in place so it doesn't happen again.
Yeah,
it's
we
not gonna
gotta-
happen again.
we gotta work on rules.
Are we still starting up the draft after Mania?
I don't know. I mean,
I don't know. We
we'll
promised that it would be after Survivor Series, then we pushed it back.
Well,
and
Joe,
now-
it's a lot of work, and I like the prediction, but I guess we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
I
We
mean,
can do predictions anyways, but like the draft is just like once every 3 months.
yeah.
Let's see how this defense goes. Because if things are a lot more level now that there's still just one champion, then
Because
maybe
I think
we'll just keep the same format.
we fixed a lot because we started combining pay-per-views into like
Yeah.
so it made things a lot more unpredictable. Like I remember when we first started, and like CJ, you'd had the belt and you had to defend for Backlash, and like nothing happened, or whatever, you know. So like it's definitely gotten better combining into like the big fours.
Yes.
So I think that definitely helps. Like this Rumble was great. Like Joe and I was saying to each other, like there was ever a time to lose. I mean, it's now
Well,
with
the thing
all
is,
the stuff.
if we did Survivor Series in the same aspect of Royal Rumble, where it was like whoever got the most eliminations, sole survivors and stuff, we probably could have had something like that too. But I
Yeah.
wasn't there for that, so I couldn't even pitch that. But I think that's something we should also do with Survivor Series.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll come up with.
Yeah,
some rules and stuff
you
like
probably
that.
can't do as many as normal, but you could probably throw in a
Most
couple.
eliminations
Yeah.
for each match, sole survivors for each match,
Yeah,
and then
that's pretty much as much as
that's-
you can.
yeah.
That's as much. I mean, that's as much as.
but
you
that's
need.
extra.
You don't
That's
need
some good extra stuff. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Well, we didn't do that for this Survivor Series because we were brand new champions and we were not ready for CJ to take it right back. We were not going to be
Jimmy could have won
transitional
it.
champions.
All right, take
Okay,
it easy.
okay, so
He picked Jake the Snake Roberts. All right.
Hey, he had a hell of a women's rumble. I'll give him
He
that.
did have a
He
hell
did.
of a woman.
Hell of a women's rumble. Gotta give him that.
Yes.
He owned the women's rumble.
You did. That was all you.
But
The
Jake
man,
the
on the
Snake
other hand,
Roberts.
Jason Jordan?
Jake the Snake. Come on. All right.
He was
okay.
Jason.
Hold up
No,
now.
listen. Hang on. I'm
Hold
gonna
up, because I
defend
have
you.
some stuff to
No,
say
but I'm
about
gonna
this.
hang on.
No,
Let
he's
me.
defending,
I'm
he's
gonna
defending.
defend you for a second. I am.
All right.
I'm gonna defend you for a second. Jason Jordan, again, was on edge, but I could see the slight chance that could somehow happen. Eva Marie being in the Big Brother house probably was a setback, but again, you could sort of just jam in some sort of explanation for that. I got nothing on Jake the Snake Roberts. I got nothing. So the floor is yours.
Okay, so let me
But
just.
come on.
Okay, so let me do a couple of things.
Oh, boy.
One is that I'm always gonna pick Jake the Snake Roberts.
Don't forget to-
Hold on, but here's my reason why.
Oh, boy.
Here's my reason why.
Okay.
After I saw the Jake the Snake's documentary on Netflix, it's like something I personally want, like, give this one very old veteran who I think deserves at least one more
Right, and has been
shot
through
in
a lot.
one more shot in WWE, whether he wins or loses, just appearing on a pay-per-view to actually wrestle would be pretty cool. And that's like the only thing. Until that happens, I'm probably always gonna pick Jake the Snake.
That's fine.
I mean, Piper
guess.
and Snuka
I mean,
did
I-
get a spot in 08. So.
I know, but
Jason Jordan, that one was a 50-50. Like, that one... that could have possibly...
80-20.
$5.95.
Eva Marie...
I'll go
I-
$15.85.
Eva Marie, I'll give you that one,
She
but
was in the Big Brother house. Where's she going? She's still on the show.
They would have let her out for like a night.
Okay.
Just like, all right, just leave quick.
Let me just say a couple things on this for like a couple seconds on this. First off, you guys picked Nikki Bella together.
We did. We could.
Well, they have to pick together.
Yes, I understand that.
No, he's saying that was a bit.
But she was nowhere to even be seen at all, and she's the most likely to ever show up.
Well, to be completely honest, we knew that was bad because as far as there were 3 categories of returns: the Legend, Normal, and NXT. There was no. I mean, Maria Kanellis was it, but there was no.
And Alexa Bliss would have been it if she wasn't confirmed ahead of time.
There was no normal return for the women. Because you guys are on to what'd you say, Victoria?
I said Victoria.
Yeah,
Right.
He said Victoria,
There was really no good normal return pick for the women, and it turned out Maria Kanellis was it. That's why, again, I'm not really all over you on Eva Maria, Jason Jordan. I'm all over you on Jake the Snake Roberts. I don't think.
Well, to be fair, you're the only one that's got the Legends pick right with Kurt Angle. Oh yeah. By the way, Joe. You should really eat your shit right now because you were saying Matt Hardy.
We had a debate about it.
I know.
We'll talk about how they laid out the Royal Rumble this year because I have a couple things I want to say.
All right, let's go into the Rumble. Let's just jump right. Unless you want to put in your plug for fucking FFW.
All right. All right. So next week, February 9th, FFW will have a show in Deer Park. We've officially got our tickets. Me and CJ, so we'll be going.
And I get to rep as the champ.
We'll probably bring it. So it'll be pretty cool to see.
I feel like I should get a nickname. You guys got Fudge and Jew.
You're a dick. There.
The dick is here.
Oh boy.
But yeah, that's pretty much.
I will run with that.
That's pretty much all we got for all that stuff. I mean, we'll have a website where I'm still working on it. So
these are good shameless plugs. These are good.
Yeah, good shameless plugs.
Commission, Jimmy. You should get like 3%, something like that. Nice.
I'm hemorrhaging money because I'm keeping everything on this podcast on audio boom, so I'm still hemorrhaging money. Regardless of that, yeah, let's start.
And your replica title belts will be coming to you soon.
I just want to before we jump in, I wanted to take over last this time, and my reasoning is just because I feel like I'm tired of doing the better show first.
That's fair.
I really want to talk about
fair.
TakeOver. I really want to talk about how great they are, how great NXT is. So I want to just touch on that last.
Not gonna lie, like I haven't had the network for a while, but NXT and NXT UK and 205 Live, they're gonna be I'm gonna go back to the network because I was having money situation, but they're the reasons why I'm getting it back. Like it's hard for me to watch Raw and SmackDown anymore. Yeah. I just do the YouTube clicks, but I'm so mad whenever I miss NXT.
I want to talk about it because I really just think it deserves to be spoken about after watching yet another incredible NXT show.
Yes.
But let's jump into the Rumble.
I've been a network subscriber since day one. So it's like WrestleMania 30.
I was like that.
You're so cool.
One. I watched
with
Brock
your orange
Lesnar.
ShopRite pumpkin-looking motherfucker.
I watched Brock Lesnar break the streak in the car on my phone coming back from senior trip. I'm like, hey, Dad, you're not going to believe this. But,
you know what? All right, so a little tangent. So we were
Little?
all on that senior trip. I came home that night. I didn't know anything. And my uncle was still living with us, Uncle Ernest at the time. I woke
Shout
up.
out to Uncle Ernest.
Yeah, shout out to Uncle Ernest, you fuck. No, he spoiled it. I went upstairs and he's like 21-1. Like, what the fuck? He spoiled the streak.
That's bad.
We'll never forgive you for that.
That's
and I was like, really, Uncle Ernest? And he's just laughing.
It's one of the biggest benefits of getting into wrestling late. I didn't have to deal with the pain of watching that live.
Just,
And even worse, they didn't have all the bugs worked out yet, so it was buffering like hell.
Yes.
Like F5,
It still
freezing.
buffers as hell, though. But
1, 2. Oh, come on.
if they added a tier system to it, they could probably stop the buffering.
I still think a tier system would work if they throw Raw and SmackDown on there. I'd pay the $15 a month.
All right, let's stay on point. Let's
right.
Let's recap the Rumble.
All right, so for the Royal Rumble match, for the Royal Rumble pay-per-view, we had what did we call it? Canadian Alpha? All right, so we had Canadian Alpha defend the Raw Tag Team Championship.
That was not a title match.
It was so
Can you believe
dumb.
that?
It was the dumbest
You just see
thing.
the pain in your face now that you just realized that. It was not even a title match. I assumed it was. It wasn't.
It was so...
It wasn't.
dumb.
Just seeing the info. Like, I just saw CJ's, like I saw the information enter his ears and just see, like, the pain.
I remember
Like,
telling that.
like,
I remember telling him this when he came over to the house to watch it. I'm like,
You think
What
he
the fuck
blocked
is
it
going
out?
on?
I think he blocked it out of
It was
his
so-
head.
And it
was
wasn't a match
dumb.
for the Revival. It wasn't a match for AOP. They took half of each. Which AOP I can understand because one's hurt. But both of the Revival are totally fine.
And
you
it
just
wasn't
sliced them in
even
half.
for the title.
So all I could say is that they
I
need to
wouldn't
go-
even put that on Raw.
like the Revival need to go to AEW. That's just
Yeah.
how they need to go.
That's
They're
the reality.
not. They need to
The
go.
pre-show match hasn't angered me so much since Enzo Amore was
I was just perplexed. Like, I was watching the pre-show, like, all right, when's Nakamura showing up? Maybe that'll be good. The Cruiserweights. What? What's Gable doing? What? Who's and
Oh, wait,
Dawson?
so-
What?
So apparently during that entrance of Gable and Rude, some fan got injured by a cameraman. Did you?
Yeah, the cameraman
So
got
cameraman
injured.
fell
Oh
over
my
and
God.
apparently hit a fan in the head or something like that.
Oh my God.
That's the story I've been hearing about.
Anyways,
So-
Canadian Alpha 1, next topic.
Yeah. This,
All right,
let's do the Cruiserweights next.
All
Yeah,
right.
Great match.
that was a fantastic...
Very, very good match.
the
Definitely.
amount of knee strikes by Buddy Murphy was insane.
Definitely more indicative now knowing about Itami that because I'm pretty sure he took the pin. So
Yes, he
Yes,
did.
that makes
This was
sense.
Jimmy's first whiff of the night.
To be, I don't.
He bounced back, though. That's the thing with that. And we'll get into...
Itami's not bad, and I mean I guess this is as good a time as any just to talk about him briefly because we're
Yes.
we're already in this match. I mean he left, he's gone, he's probably going back to Japan. I think this kind of benefits all parties.
It does.
I mean
it does.
It was really never a good fit. He was not a WWE guy. He wasn't really a talker.
I mean, the problem is that once you get like these Asian Japanese wrestlers into it, like you have to assimilate, and it's not really fair to them, to be honest.
yeah, absolutely.
I know,
yeah, I
well,
mean
They do
Asuka.
that- I mean, they also do it to the luchadors as well.
Yeah, they pigeonhole him.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
know the highlight of the night for a lot of us that were watching it at the Royal Rumble, myself, Jimmy, Nicole, Rena, our girlfriends, we were watching. We loved Tozawa. I'm not sure
Oh,
if you guys
man.
heard. He's just going, whoa! And just like
He goes,
missile
"Yeet!"
drop kicking people. And
No,
he's just making
he's
so many
He's just
fucking
making
sound
random ass yeet, ha, wah! It's just like the most
And it's-
obnoxious.
Jimmy, can I hear those noises again? I don't think
Jimmy, no.
All right, good. I just checking. I just wanted to make sure I heard them right.
This
Can
is-
we make that a bump?
There's a lot we should make as a bump, but Jimmy, this is why you can't be champion. It's because of those fucking yeet sounds.
Yeet, yeet.
Stop it. But props to Buddy Murphy. Holy shit. I haven't really watched him like that in a while, but like he improved so much since his NXT tag team days.
Yeah, I mean, I have nothing against him except that he's married to Alexa Bliss, and I want her to be mine. But besides that, I got nothing against. I got nothing
You
against.
want that
him.
muffin butt?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sure. Yeah. Whatever it is, I'll take it.
His match with Cedric Alexander at Super Showdown was incredible.
All his matches are incredible.
It was like the highlight of Super Showdown, which really isn't saying all that.
Oh,
Take it.
question. Because again, I've been out of like the wrestling loop, like watching it, and especially 205 Live. When the fuck did Lucha House Party come out with piñatas?
Always.
That's been.
That's been a
Really?
while.
That was even
Oh
a raw,
yeah.
That was even a raw thing. That
Oh,
What
was
the
yeah.
actual fuck is wrong with this shit?
Yeah, that's a loaded
I
question.
know. What was it? Jimmy was commenting on it. He said those were from Party City.
They are. I've held the actual product that they've had, and I'm like,
Does it make you feel
Listen-
honored now?
no, it
You're
doesn't.
feeling
It makes me
you're
feel like
halfway
this is a
famous?
bad product placement for, like, just for
Yeah.
a brand that sponsors them. It's just,
So
Oh, yeah.
it's just a bad. It was
Hold
just
on.
a bad one.
Sponsoring. What the fuck was with Golden Chris being the sponsors for?
yeah, that was ridiculous.
Wait, was this 1997?
Of all the cereals,
We were having people come over and we're just like, hey, can you guys just bring Golden Chris? They're like, what the fuck? What? Where is this coming from?
Mix
And then-
Golden Crisp and Bootios into a cereal bowl.
Golden
Speaking-
Crisp has
speaking
now
of
gotten the
Bootios-
shaft lately too.
So speaking of Bootios, you had the New Day in a commercial sponsoring.
Golden Chris. They're
Golden Chris.
traders. They
They're
have
traders to
a
the
better.
Bootios.
They have a better product than Golden Chris. But anyways,
So dumb.
good for you, cruiserweights.
Yeah.
Good
Anyway,
for you.
Tommy's gone.
Guys
It's
deserve
better for
better still,
everyone.
Yeah, you'll be on the pre-show forever.
It's still good matches. And then we had Shinsuke Nakamura take on Rusev. for
Jimmy,
the
you
US
want to take
Championship.
care of this? Because I feel like you're miffed about it more than I am.
The floor is yours.
We gave him so much props, too.
Okay,
We
so
did.
I don't even know how to start this. All I could say is why? Just why? Why? I don't get it. I really don't. Are they doing something with Rusev and Lana where they're trying to break them up again? Guess what? It didn't work the first time. Why keep doing it? I don't get it. The whole, like, like the whole spot with Lana getting hit. That was
makes
the point
sense.
I knew. That's like, oh fuck, he's gonna lose. And it's just why do they hate Rusev? I don't get it. He's funny. He's charismatic. He has a great T-shirt that I own.
He's a heel.
He's a heel now for some fucking dumb reason.
He's a heel.
Like I don't get it. I don't get it.
R-Truth.
I don't get it.
What are we doing?
And then he loses to Japanese Kane.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
Nobody does.
And then Japanese Kane loses to R-Truth the following night at SmackDown. Like what the fuck? I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't. I really don't. I don't know what they're thinking.
I'm just as mad, but for different reasons, because he's the only blemish on my record for having a perfect weekend.
I just think it's just it's funny and it's not. It's like if you don't laugh, then I guess you gotta
It's
cry.
just really painful.
Like it's
Really
just
painful.
it is. It's
I'm laughing at Jimmy.
I just
but I'm
watched.
crying on the inside.
I just watched the pre-show. Like I thought this was finally the time
Wasn't
where
it-
Jimmy
wasn't
can
it-
be happy about Rusev, and I'm just watching this pre-show, and I see Lana get on the apron, and I'm just like, no, don't tell him. And Shinsuke goes up, and I see Rusev in the back about to make a running start, and I'm like, no, don't tell him. And then I see the bump, I'm like, no.
I remember you shaking your head at me. I'm like, oh, all right, I missed the pre-show, so Rusev won, right? And it's like,
Yeah, I just looked at him like, no, he didn't. And all I could think of is, Jimmy, no.
he finally gave you your moment. In the
Like I
sun.
can't even laugh because it's like I'm laughing, but at the same time I'm like, oh come on, he's been through enough.
He's just a boy.
Well,
It was
Stop
it was
the damn
it was
match.
really upsetting.
yeah,
I remember
As God is my witness, he is broken in half.
I remember watching this with Jimmy, and I told Jimmy, I'm like, Jimmy, this is what you get for wanting to get Jake the Snake. You get one or the other.
And guess what? I don't get either.
Yeah,
I don't
right.
get either. I
Yeah.
got the women's one. I got half of the women's one correct. Well, from what?
You actually got a good amount of it,
Yeah, I
and we'll
got
get
a
into that.
Yeah,
a
we'll
good
get
amount.
into it.
But, like, I'm sorry, Jim. We were all rooting for
We
you.
really
I
were.
know.
We
I
all
was. We
wanted
really
you to
were.
win the belt, but
We
we
really were.
didn't want to give you, like, an easy win.
No,
Yeah.
that's totally fine.
Like
I
this
understand.
Rusev thing has been going on for such a long time. Like it's gotten less funny and more just like, all right, come on, like come
The
on.
Ruby Riot thing, where we just wanted you to be wrong in every sense of the word.
Yeah, like this is.
we were
Rusev had the belt. We were ready to start it. Like he was gonna have a new
He
challenger.
was over. He was over. He's still over. Even as a heel, he's still over.
He's not gonna be able
it.
to for long with this booking though.
it's okay,
It's not
Jim.
gonna. It's not gonna last.
And
Unfortunately.
here's
No,
all
it's not. I
right.
don't
So let's
get
get
it.
into the next match where we really wanted you to be right. The Bar versus Shane. Like
Yeah.
I know we're skipping over some, but I'm like, let's talk about this one.
Okay. So
Not a bad
this,
match.
This
No, it wasn't a
reminds
bad
me.
match.
This is so indicative of WrestleMania where I picked against the Nicholas, where I actually went with a normal tag team because I felt I had respect for the industry, and then Braun and a Make-A-Wish kid won the belts.
Damn. All right.
And
Damn,
na-
he's just a refs kid.
And
Damn.
now, hey, it was a wish, wasn't it? And then you have this where it's like, do we pick an actual tag team, which again just so happens to be the Bar, or do we pick this fucking sham-wowed, clean-up bullcrap?
He's the best professional wrestler in the world.
And guess what? I was on the right side of this one.
Jimmy, we really wanted you to be right with this again. There were a lot of times where we wanted you to be right.
I knew
I
it.
When
I knew it was gonna.
broke
This
the
was
bar, I was like, yes.
this.
Yes.
This was the title change, and then when you saw them stand tall on SmackDown that week, I texted Joe. I'm like, "Oh yeah, this is perfect."
You know what really did it for Jimmy? And I'm going to bring this up because Jimmy was like, oh, yes, the Bar's going to win. They did the finisher. He kicked out, and Jimmy's like, I'm fucked. I'm so
Yeah,
fucked.
I saw the finisher.
He
I
saw
just
the finisher, and I was like, "Fuck!"
I saw the finisher. I just leaned over to Joe. I'm like, he's gonna kick out of this. like he's gonna.
And
This
Michael
is
Cole
what this is.
No sold it even worse than Shane McMahon did.
Yeah.
Oh, kicked out at 2.
Yeah, what? Yeah, he said something.
A
Like he didn't even
fucking
say the finish. He's just like, yeah, double team, and he kicks out. And I leaned over to Joe. I'm like, that was the finisher. That's how they win things. And
Shane kicked out.
Fucking
Shane kicked out.
But, like, on the plus side, Shane did a really good shooting star press.
I was impressed.
it was good. He didn't get all of it, but the fact that he did it,
5 years old.
I know, but it was.
I thought
You
he was
gotta-
like 50.
whatever. I mean, it was good.
The older he is, the less good I feel about this.
All right, so now going forward, where does this end? Miz Shane
He
at
dro-
Mania?
It's
Yes.
definitely Miz
This is-
Shane at
he
Mania.
drops
There's
it
no way.
because
That's
Joe and I were
everything else.
talking about this. Fastlane's gonna be in Ohio,
Okay.
and that's Miz is originally from Cleveland, Ohio. So
Are
I'm
we
just
gonna see the Jimmy Buffett fan Miz's dad at this?
I want the Miz's dad to cost him the championship.
Right now, so now the follow-up is, and I think this is definitely a debatable topic, who turns on who? Who's the heel?
I think it's definitely Shane.
I want Shane to turn because I'm enjoying Miz's
We
defeat.
wanted what's actually going to, because, and this goes all the way back to Crown Jewel, where we thought they won this belt for a reason to turn Shane heel. There was, eventually, we felt we were going to mature to turn Shane heel. It didn't happen. He's still face as can be. So
arrogant face that no one really liked.
people like him. A lot of people like him.
More people like him than the new Daniel Bryan.
I love the new
we
Daniel
will
Bryan.
get to that. 'cause
It's
that-
very
we
polarizing.
loved it.
We are cutting half on this.
Yeah,
We'll get to that.
It's bad or it's awful.
Yeah, we'll get
Well,
we'll get to it.
But congrats to the Bar for losing and putting
Again.
over such an up and coming team.
I mean, I love the Miz. I'm such a fan.
And now
of
we're gonna
his.
get the Usos versus was it Miz O'Mac?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Miz O'Mac.
Or
Yeah.
Which-
greatest-
Shane
or the greatest
O'Miz?
tag team in the world, which Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas might have a problem with.
Shelton Benjamin came back. That was cool.
Yeah,
Well,
good.
And
Yeah,
I
good.
kept
Good.
thinking
Good
for
for him.
Apollo Crews at least 4 times.
Oh my God! Yeah, I'm pretty sure when Shelton got eliminated, I said Apollo got eliminated,
All
or
right,
vice
hold on.
versa.
Apollo messed it up too.
We'll talk about the Rumble spots. Let's finish up
Yeah.
the rest of these.
All right,
singles.
let's get to the next
What
one.
else? What else happened?
It depends which one you wanna talk
Ronda and Sasha.
I thought it was really good.
Very good.
I didn't pay
Ve-
attention.
Very good.
One of the better matches of the opening part.
Yeah,
I
very
enjoyed-
good.
I paid attention when Sasha first lost part of her attire, and then I'm like, oh, that's weird. And then I see her trying to choke out Ronda. I'm like, that's badass. And I just see her trying to choke. I'm
I
like,
think what I've
kill
discovered.
her.
What I've discovered throughout this entire process with Ronda Rousey is that I don't think she'll ever have a bad match with any of the 4 horsemen.
Yes.
I don't
just
know
what
if she'll
I've-
have a bad match with anyone, to be honest. When you can have, and we'll get to
This
Nia
feels
Jax.
weird.
Oh, Lord knows we'll get to Nia Jax. But when you can consistently have good matches with her, I mean, it's very impressive what she's doing. It's very impressive. Minus Kurt Angle, you have to say she's the best rookie ever. I mean, and Kurt had had more pure wrestling experience.
And also, you saw that Ronda took it on with Bayley. And I was thinking that was going to be a Fastlane match and stuff, but to have it on Raw and have her going rush shot through the 4 horsewomen, that was also very nice to see. It was nice to
But
see.
and Bailey got hers. It sounded like Ronda really. The only
What-
pure
what I didn't
squash was
like-
against Alexa that one time at SummerSlam.
which
what
was
I
fun.
didn't like about that Bailey match was the fucking crowd. They were the absolute worst.
Yeah, crowd
They
was
were
terrible.
the fucking
Crowd was
fucking
terrible.
worst. Especially
Ronda
what
couldn't get a
happened
break.
later.
It was killing me.
But
Which I
we'll
think we'll
get
talk
into
about.
that segment after these next 2
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
That
All right.
was horrendous.
So we got Asuka versus Becky, which in my opinion, match of the night. I fucking
It was-
love that.
So, again,
very
very
good.
very good. I don't think there really, for me, was a match that I was just like, holy crap, like.
Two women's matches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought very good. I thought that I was very surprised that Becky tapped clean as a whistle.
But that was
with
a
no
scary
interference.
fucking Asuka lock. Like it
Yeah.
was like a cattle mutilation. Like Daniel Bryan.
And after watching the Rumble and seeing it, even though we picked Charlotte, you still want. The reason we picked Charlotte, I feel, is just because WWE is the kings of, and I thought this rivaled Daniel Bryan, where everyone wanted it, and they were just gonna make us wait longer.
Yeah.
Well, now I
And-
think it's going to
and-
be putting all of them together, considering.
See,
all
and
that.
that's
Well-
that's the part where I kind of disagree.
you want to get into the Women's Royal Rumble now?
Well, yeah, if we could jump, because this Becky Asuka match definitely tied in for sure. I feel like we all knew Asuka was walking out.
Yes.
We didn't know exactly how. I even thought there was a possibility that Becky could have won per se, where you could have called it a DQ. There were a lot of different things here, but I thought somehow, some way, they needed to make Asuka and Becky strong, and I think they definitely did that. For sure, with Asuka winning clean and then Becky winning. But now the issue is going forward, and this is another reason why we took Charlotte, is I felt it was easier to jam Becky in than to jam Charlotte in. Because now everyone got what they wanted with Becky, and nobody wants Charlotte in this.
All right.
Nobody wants her. But she's going to get jammed in, and I feel like it would have been easier to say, screw Ronda Charlotte. Becky jams in, and then, you know what I mean? I feel like it should have been the other way.
Let's get into the Rumble match, and then I'm gonna give you my thoughts on
Mm-hmm.
what you said, because I can agree with how this could be difficult. But all right, so the Women's Royal Rumble, it started out with Lacey Evans, which I forgot how Southern she was until she spoke.
And tall. She's tall. How tall is she?
She's slightly shorter than Charlotte. Let's put that in perspective.
Yeah,
She is.
but like she.
Yeah.
You ever watch Glow?
Yeah.
Like she reminds me
like
of Liberty
Liberty
Bell.
Bell.
And I'm just like, wow, all right,
I
cool.
was like, all right.
And this is first props of the night to Jim because he called Natalya as the Iron Woman. And
Yeah.
good for you, Jim, because you got that.
Yeah. We were 2 minutes away. We had Ember Moon who had 53 minutes. Natalya had 55.
I thought 56.
Well, all right, 55 and change.
Yeah, no,
whatever
but
you
like
want to call it.
Ember Moon was really close, and I was mad because I had Charlotte, and she was the third longest one in the Rumble.
Yeah, and she had most eliminated.
See me and Jared.
Yeah.
Natalia, get in the goddamn ring.
Oh yeah, whole time. There were so many moments where we'd be like, "Where's Natalya? She's resting in the corner again. Someone go after her." Like, what are we doing? The whole time.
To be fair, and I think this has everything to do with what we predicted a couple weeks ago with between her and Ruby Riott. It's like they have to give her something. That's so.
Oh my
Am
God.
I mad about
And
this?
it wasn't
No.
a bad pick. I like when I read it, I'm like that could definitely happen.
No,
I
so
just felt that they should have put Ember more, but they did. And just the whole time, there was so many instances where Natalya was doing nothing and just resting in the corner.
So,
and I'm saying to Joe, like, this is a good match. Yeah, Natalya, get out of the freaking ring.
So Ember Moon's actually probably one of the better picks for this one. Charlotte, there was no way in hell that was going to happen.
No, if she was entering at number 3, which also could have been possible to push her same way as Ric Flair.
Yeah, I know, but they're not gonna do
As
that.
soon as she did not come out at 3, I'm like, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
That was my pick, and that was my logic. And as soon as
It wasn't horrendous. Like it wasn't a horrendous pick. Like I didn't think it was bad. I didn't think any of those 3 were bad
No.
picks between Ember, Natalya, and Charlotte.
what sucks though is that Ember's injured again.
Yeah.
Injured arm.
Another arm.
Yeah, so
And this one wasn't Nia's fault, I don't think.
No,
I think
no,
she'll be-
I think it was
We'll find a way.
Alexa's.
I think she'll be ready by Mania because I think it's a similar one that Braun Strowman had.
I don't know.
We'll
but,
find a way to pin this on Nia Jax.
what
Don't you
did-
worry.
What did you think of the NXT slots? We had Kairi Sane in there, Io Shirai,
I think he had some missed opportunities. I
We
really
whiffed
felt that
so
Shayna
hard.
and Tony Storm
I
should
think
have been
Rhea
there.
Ripley
Okay,
though
so
was a much better.
I think they
impact.
were very
Rhea Ripley
good.
was much better,
They
and
were-
I think the reason for that is because she's no longer the champion. That's the reason.
Yeah, I think they were very good performances. They were
Casey Catanzaro was insane.
very good.
Okay, so-
I think the biggest one was, and I don't even know her name, that Asian girl that came
Io
in at
Shirai?
No, the one that
no,
came in
the
at
other
12.
one.
Xia Li.
I mean, nothing against her, but I feel that
She put in some really good offense.
she did. I'm not saying she didn't, but I don't think anyone really knew who she was. It didn't seem like the crowd really knew what was happening.
But I think they became a fan of her afterwards.
Yes, but I feel like between Shayna and Tony Storm, I think both should have been in.
I think
both
Shayna should have been in,
I
too.
think both should have 100% represented, and I think having the belt was the reason they both should have showed up.
And then Jimmy, good for you on picking Kairi Sane.
Yeah.
My thinking behind it is that because they're not champions.
Well,
Like, just
no,
as long as
right,
it's
yeah.
not an NXT champion. 'cause
Well,
that's
Ember Moon
fully-
did it last year.
And Andrade was.
And
And Andrade last
yeah, you
year.
could spin in
Were
different
they
ways.
champions though? By
Yes.
that time last
Yeah,
year?
yeah,
they were.
they
Okay.
were.
Yeah.
They didn't drop the belts
could-
until
Yeah.
Mania season.
You could spin this in different ways. You could say not being champions because the champions got to represent where they are, and then you want to bring other guys this way. But the other way is you want champions
No.
to come in. So
I'm gonna go with this way though, because I think that we're missing something here, and no one brought it up. Io Shirai and Kairi Sane made their re-debuts. Well, Kairi debuted last year. Io Shirai made her debut, and they both made enemies out of the Riot Squad. There is a
Did
certain
they? I didn't even know. Yeah, I didn't even know.
and there is a certain elimination chamber coming up where they need tag teams.
yeah.
And if you
that's-
have Kairi and Io
I
Shirai,
would not be mad by that.
That's,
You know-
that's an interesting point, and I could definitely see that,
You know-
especially where they don't have a lot of tag teams.
a
So
legitimate tag team.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, by the way, fuck the Iconics. You can't just declare that you're in the
no, it wasn't the
chamber.
Iconics. It was Rose and DeVille.
No, it was the Iconics.
Then they did it too. Then because Rose and DeVille's, remember?
No, they're not in it yet.
Sure they are.
Are they?
Pretty sure they are.
Oh, sure they are. You
Or
don't
we're
remember-
just
You don't remember?
assuming.
No. You don't remember backstage and Rose was talking
That was
about how
Iconics.
how Naomi bullied Mandy Rose, and that's why Rose hates her and all that.
Okay,
They're
so
in.
I'm actually liking though Mandy Rose in the end.
Well, I'm not talking about that. I'm saying.
No, but that's
just-
because you just brought it up. Just
Yeah. No, I'm saying like them just going in. I mean, unless the Iconics are also. Oh yeah, Rose and DeVille just said like.
I'm
yeah,
just mad
we're
about
in.
that. Why declare when you have on Raw?
The matches.
Yeah, you're the actual
Nia
fucking
and Tamina, and then there was the other one. I can't remember.
Riot Squad.
Was it Bailey and Sasha?
No, they didn't
Riot-
battle yet.
Bailey and Sasha aren't in yet. Which
Yeah,
you'd
but,
assume they're gonna be, but
But I'm excited for that. fuck the SmackDown Women's Tag Team division because that they just can't declare, and I lose respect for that. But going forward, I think we're gonna see Kyrie and Io.
Yeah, that's an interesting point for sure.
Candice LeRae, I did enjoy her.
Yeah, she was at
Also, I wanted to quickly talk about that. We saw Candice LeRae, thought that was a great spot, and none of us thought afterwards, oh, is Johnny going to be in the men's one?
That's a great point.
I wasn't even thinking that when it happened.
Yeah,
so
once we saw Candice, I did not think for 1 second that
Johnny was going to be there.
And then once I saw Gargano show up, I was like, Gargano showed up?
You're right.
And Candice-
It was Mandy and Sonya.
Yeah.
I thought it was the Iconics.
No.
Okay.
Don't worry, the Iconics will try and find a way to say they're in it too. But Jimmy, you could pick them for the shortest time in this chamber now.
Oh yeah.
You
Well,
can double up.
I did the NXT spot as the Iconics, so I can't say anything. I did that for last year.
Once Billy Kay came out and just started pacing around the ring waiting for Peyton Royce, I'm like, oh, Jimmy's dead.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's so dead.
Fucking loved Nikki.
No,
Royce.
actually, at the opposite. When Billy was saying, I'm waiting for Peyton, I'm like, oh, God, they're both going to get in and get double clothesline.
But none of us got that right, though.
No.
Because as soon as Dana showed up putting in some offense and then got tackled down.
No,
to
it wasn't
the ground,
Dana. It was
Liv
Liv
Morgan
fucking
was the
Morgan.
problem.
No, for sure.
No, we're saying, once Dana got...
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once Dana got in.
Well,
it's
Liv
like it wasn't
Morgan
gonna
was
happen.
so quick, was the point that once our guys got in, you count to 3, done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
so
she was
it's
8 seconds.
Yeah, I know.
Here's Liv Morgan, and she's out. Great.
Thanks, Natalia.
Thanks,
You know, if
Love it.
Natalia wasn't in there for Iron Woman, Dana. Actually,
No, because that would have been no.
Yeah.
Wait,
There's no
huh?
other person.
Dana
that would.
might have gotten shortest time.
Oh.
Very.
But Natalia had to be the Iron Woman and last so long and eliminate Liv.
Yeah, I thought overall, it was a good match.
I love the
Supposedly, there were entrance issues that were
Yeah.
causing the because I think their match was like an hour and 12, and the men's
Yeah.
match was under an hour, and the men's match kind of had to rush through the entrances a
but
little
it was
bit.
fine.
But overall, it was not a bad match.
I like the Zelina Vega spot.
Yes,
Yeah,
that was very
great.
good. That was very good. Came down to the right two. At the end of the day, whether Charlotte or Becky won, it was supposed
What do you
to come
think
down
of
to the
that
two
with
of them.
Becky coming in like
I think
that?
they should have dramatized it a little bit more. I think if another authority figure was like no, but then Finlay kind of overruled it because he's clearly in charge of the Rumble spot for the women.
I think it would have been better if Becky just kicked the crap out of Carmella in the back or something. Like,
So basically pulling Nia, essentially.
well, I wouldn't have done that. Like, you know what I mean? I would have had Becky be the one to. I just feel like once you see Lana in a boot, and you see her in this that
Yeah.
weird cringeworthy limp that she's got, you're like, all right, where's Becky?
I had oh yeah, Lana starts to come out. Once Lana knew he hit, I'm like, all right, here's Lana. Shit, she's injured. That means
Yeah,
Becky's taking her
and then
spot.
once you see a limp, and then they dragged it on too long, Becky's coming out. It's like I felt like I could have been done a little better, but again, I feel like I'm nitpicking a little.
I'm
I
just
enjoy-
saying Irish favoritism because Finlay put her in there. That's all I'm saying.
I enjoyed how they did that continuity from the match which shall not be named. But Becky,
So basically, this is all Rusev's fault, right?
This is all-
No, we all thank Rusev for giving us Becky into this Royal Rumble match. That's all
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Damn it, Rusev. You guys still be champions.
so we're condoning physical violence. Man,
Yeah, why not?
Doing
Yeah, for
physical
sure. Yeah, for sure,
accidents
right?
on women
Yeah.
to get women over. That's all we're saying.
All right, so let's move on with it. But congratulations to Becky. I'm so hype. That promo spot between Becky and Ronda was amazing on Raw. I loved it.
It was,
It
and
was,
the
but
crowd
the crowd
ruined
fucking
it.
ruined
The
it.
crowd ruined it.
No, but Ronda took it to a heel strike. And it was great.
Honestly,
I think it
we
started
got
off
to
very-
turn her heel
Yes.
for this. And I know she's all about the integrity and putting people over, and I get that, but
I feel
just
like you could
because
take
of the
that, though, and
crowd.
put it into a heel spot.
I
Like
think
if you base it solely on honor, and then you look at how Becky kind of there's nothing honorable.
Yeah,
about
she
that.
came in. She just walked into the Rumble, and
Yeah, but-
Exactly, and I think you
And
can
the-
turn that
and you could totally turn on the crowd and be justified. Ron just could say, day in, day out, I'm here putting in work, having great matches. I haven't lost a singles match yet, and you just keep turning for back. Like,
But I
this can be done so easily. And after seeing what happened on Raw, and I think that crowd was a bit of an aberration. But at the end of the day, when you have Ronda really doing the best she could, smiling with the crowd, she did the best she could.
But once she turned that face on, it got great.
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
she's just like, I could literally kill you with my two hands.
Yeah.
But the only reason why I don't is because I decided not to. I'm just like, oh shit.
And they have to look at her and be like, she's right.
She's right. Yeah.
Like she's not wrong. Like yeah, it was really
Like,
fantastic.
and like the way she put it, and I thought it was great. like how she spun it to be like an entitled, aggressive heel, and
Yeah.
I was loving that because that's like just learning the game quick, and I love that.
And that's how she was. That was a lot of her persona in UFC. She had a very cocky, like I'll just beat you to the ground type
and she's
thing.
like, we're the same age. I'm like, oh shit. It's like, and I'm a household name.
Yeah.
And who are you again? I'm just like, and then I didn't realize this. Their birthdays are days apart from each other.
Really?
Yeah. Becky's birthday was
How
like
old are they both? Like 31,
30,
32?
31, 32, yeah. And it's just like they both had, because Bleacher did an article on each of them this past week on their birthdays. And I'm just like, holy shit. I'm like,
Gonna guess there's gonna be no Carvel cakes exchanged between them.
no Fudge the Whale.
Yeah. But I let's just briefly. We should talk about this whole putting Charlotte in now.
I think they're gonna put Charlotte against
Do we agree?
Asuka.
Do we? Right. I was just about to say. Do we think it's actually going to happen?
No.
Is Charlotte going in and is it
50-50.
becoming a triple
I think
threat?
it depends.
I think it's gonna be Charlotte versus Ronda at Fastlane
I don't know.
to try and get into the match.
I don't know.
I think so because Ronda's already dismantling every single 4 horsewomen. I think she needs to dismantle Charlotte next, have that match, because Fastlane needs to be a selling point.
I think that Charlotte is going to be in it.
Yeah.
I in triple threat. I think it's happening. I think
it's a 50-50.
I think
It
there's
could go either way.
there's a
I think-
chance it won't.
I
It
think
could be
what
Charlotte versus
they
Becky.
It could be, yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't want to see that again. We don't need that
That's
again.
the only. We got it again on SmackDown.
Yeah, however they banded it, but at the end of the day, I think Charlotte's getting in. I think that and I could be in the minority because everyone's so crazy with Becky. I don't think anyone really thinks straight anymore. But I think they owe it to all 3 of those women to main event WrestleMania.
I do.
I think those 3 women built this. This big change. Becky's obviously at the forefront of this, but she didn't do it alone. Ronda, Charlotte, and Becky did this all together.
I do agree with that.
And I think that it deserves a triple threat. I think that I worry how they're going to put Charlotte in.
That's the only thing.
That's why I wanted Charlotte to win the Rumble, because it just would have been so much easier to throw Becky in because everyone's rooting for her. Now you gave everyone what they wanted maybe too early, and now you're going to have Charlotte get shoved in when no one wants
I
her
think
to get
Charlotte's
shoved in.
going to end up trying to take the belt off of Asuka.
Could be.
That's the only other logical opponent because Ember's injured, Nikki is too new. Who are you going to throw against her? Mandy fucking Rose?
Naomi again. Yeah, it's tough.
I think Charlotte would be the only logical competitor against Asuka. And by the way, fuck WWE for shafting Asuka on SmackDown because she was nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
No appearance, no backstage segment, no match, and she literally made the man tap. And
But again, she sometimes as the champ, you don't have to. She still won clear. I'm curious to see where they go with this. I just hope they don't.
I'm happy she wasn't on SmackDown because that show was a fucking dog turtle.
Well, we'll get to it. Raw, SmackDown, my lord.
Yeah.
But
we're already starting to get into it. But it's like
we're getting there though.
yeah. All right. So let's jump into another match. Pick a
DB
match.
versus AJ. I'm really upset they put this match in that slot.
I think this match. I think this match was such a disappointment to me personally.
Yeah.
I think that these two deserve, for God's sake, to have a non-interference, non-bullcrap, non-roll-up.
Eric Rowan.
Finish this
No,
match.
no, not Eric Rowan.
Rowan. Finish.
By the way,
have a match. Just have a match. Why?
No, but
'Cause-
TLC they did it clean.
It's
TLC Daniel Bryan won.
But that's what I'm saying. Again, it was a roll up out of nowhere. It was building to 5 stars, and all of a sudden that roll up happens. Finish it. Have a match and finish it. I don't care whether you like Daniel Bryan's character or you don't like it. At the end of the day, these two are some of the best in-ring masters in the world. Get in the ring, forget anyone, and have a match. And have Daniel.
That's probably where it's going to lead to for Mania, though.
It
probably will.
And I feel, but I feel
Who
like
knows? It might be a 5-star Mania match.
I
never happened.
don't think Daniel Bryan's versing AJ at Mania.
yeah. See, that's my problem. I feel like it's over now.
I think they're gonna build up Daniel Bryan versus Cena. That's the only one that makes sense.
That's a bold thing.
That's an interesting idea.
I could
Who's
see
in the chamber right now? Who Hardy,
Orton, Hardy, Ali,
Styles, Joe,
Bryan.
Mysterio.
Mysterio's not in there.
No,
Mysterio was in there.
No, he's
Mysterio
not.
was in there.
No. Jeff Hardy,
Yep.
Samoa Joe, Randy Orton, Mustafa Ali, AJ Styles.
Oh, that's it.
Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan, right? Daniel Bryan. Yep,
No,
that's
because there's a feud going on between Andrade and Ray.
Yeah, right.
Which,
okay.
Yay.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm very disappointed. I don't, and again, this all is a callback to how we feel about the new Daniel Bryan.
What do you think of his title?
I think it's. I think
it works for
Championship.
I don't. It's just me. I don't care for it. I feel like you're
I
on.
thought it was a cool design.
I think it.
I'm not saying like I would personally like put that as like a championship.
Yeah,
title,
it's just
but,
my opinion, and I could see how people would like it because he's just such a
aesthetically
dick.
it looks.
But it's just like I don't know. I feel like you're undermining the belt a little bit.
I think that's the idea though. Like his
I know, but
it's the idea.
I know.
Take that belt off Bryan. They're just gonna get lazy, and they're gonna keep that belt for 10 years.
But what are we doing with Rowan? Like to me.
By the way, like if his character is supposed to match Daniel Bryan, like I understand they're doing like the single names. It to me, it just doesn't feel right.
Why does he need
like,
another person?
It needs to be more. I agree with you. I don't think it should be another person.
Yeah.
Watch,
but
Harper's
if they
gonna
are
come.
Do it.
Harper's gonna join Styles now.
It's gonna be either Luke or it's just gonna be Harper.
I think it's gonna be Harper.
It's gonna be Harper for sure.
But like,
You
if
got
they're
the
really gonna dive into this character of like the ultra, liberal, Rowan should have had like 4 last names in there instead of it. It should be Eric Rowan Niedemeyer Weston the Third or something like that.
Esquire.
Yeah,
Esquire
Jr.
Jr.
MD.
I'm just empty. I'm so yeah.
Like Rowan's name needs to be a guy that you can walk into any random ass coffee shop in Brooklyn and go, "Oh, say that name."
No,
3 people will turn around being yes.
No,
Like,
you know what he
needs
needs?
to be.
He needs a beanie.
Oh god.
Yes,
Eric
that's
needs
what-
a beanie.
He needs a beanie. He needs a beanie.
No, that's how Harper's gonna come out. He's gonna come out with a beanie, a man bun. It's gonna be great.
I'm more refined than you. Oh
He's
my
gonna have
god.
Nickelback-
Harper versus Rowan at
He's
Mania.
gonna have a Nickelback arm bracelet. The velvet one. That's what it's gonna be. They're gonna try to bring Nickelback on the soundtrack to the SmackDown opener
No,
again.
no, Nick.
Harper versus Rowan environment match. What?
It's at the Wyatt compound, but they're replanting the plants to put back
Whoever
all
has the greenest thumb wins.
Ah!
environment. See, that's how fun it can be.
Yeah, right. All right. We just booked it, guys. Good work.
But yeah, you got your bludgeon brother back.
Well, that's
One
him.
of
Yeah.
I wanted both back at the same time. I wanted them to go into that Fatal 4-Way match on SmackDown and just tear everyone apart. That would have been perfect.
Yeah, why Heavy Machinery, who doesn't even have a brand, is getting
Hey, Jared,
that
who
shot
was-
over
who was in that
sanity.
match?
Freaking sanity, my God.
We can get into that with the AEW
My
topic.
God.
Well, the last match before the men's Royal Rumble was Brock and
All right,
Finn.
not gonna lie, I really thought Jimmy was about to win this. I
There
got
was a
scared
point where
shitless.
That was very close.
I never did. I think you could definitely say that was up there for one of the top matches. I thought it
Yeah.
was really great.
Yeah, I was about to ask you, like,
a
did you
li-
enjoy the match?
I really did. I thought it was fantastic. I really loved
Do you
it.
think if Finn Balor came out as the demon and did all that stuff, he would have won?
Yeah, I think if Finn, I know I do. I think if you saw Finn as the demon, he would have won. I never really thought he had a chance, even though he hit his finisher. I
thought
knew
it was
he was kicking
smart
out.
though. That was
Oh,
the thing.
for sure. I don't disagree with anything that happened. I thought it was a really great match.
Yeah.
And I feel like we're barreling towards Finn getting the Universal title eventually. It could be.
but it's not gonna be before he gets the Intercontinental Championship
Yeah, it's-
from Bobby Lashley.
Oh, I'm talking like another. It could be another solid year, but I feel like WWE knows that eventually Finn's getting this belt. It's coming. It's good. It could be a while.
That's if the belt survives long enough through the Fox deal.
That's
Yeah.
true.
That is
But
true. That is
yeah,
true.
I like that though. I like the callback because I remember when he smashed him into the corner of the announce table. I went to Jimmy like, Jimmy, Brock has fucking diverticulitis. He's so fucked. Like, and he's just like, oh shit. And then Nicole and Rena, they're like, what do you mean by diverticulitis? That's
Like,
like
you see his gut, it looks like a fucking keg.
like his
it's
stomach
just-
is so fucked up, and I'm just like,
Jericho's
that's
right,
so
he needs
smart.
He needs to get rid of some of that fat in the gut.
But like, that was smart. He just rammed him into the corner and stuff, and that set up the coup de grace too. I'm like, and then like he went to pin him, and then motherfucker had the Kimura lock. I'm like,
And then he made
Fuck!
one of the best memes that came out of 2019.
Oh, that
Look
face!
at that face.
My God!
Look at his eyes. I don't want to. It's kind of
It
frightening.
brings me back to freaking Undertaker versus Brock at what, SummerSlam? That's what it was, or Hell in a Cell, or whatever that was.
no,
Yeah, when they both set up at
Yeah.
the same time.
That was
Last
SummerSlam.
That was SummerSlam.
SummerSlam.
With that laugh.
It's
What
just-
was the part that was it against Dean Ambrose where it was at WrestleMania and Brock made that scream? Oh!
Wasn't that like Mark Henry when he did that against him?
I don't remember. I feel like it was at
He did do
Mania
it with Mark
recently.
He did do that with Mark Henry, right?
When he F5 Mark Henry on the outside of the ring, he just came up like,
Was that the one I'm thinking? I don't
Yeah.
know. He might have done
setting
it a
up
couple
for Big
times.
Show at 2014.
he was Akira Tozawa before Akira Tozawa was cool.
You're here. I'm here. Let's do this. Let's just leave it.
Perfect. On next match.
All right. So
Men's
the
Royal
Royal
Rumble.
Rumble. So Elias comes out, and I went to Jimmy like, Jimmy, Jeff Jarrett's gonna fucking come out. That'd be so funny. Jeff Jarrett comes out like, yes.
Nope.
Be like, there's
Pixar
no
it didn't
more-
happen. You didn't predict it.
I know. I'm so mad. But all right. So let's get into this.
Why did Jeff Jarrett come out like that?
Why did
did
Elias
Elias get
turn
turned
heel?
There's a bigger question here.
This is why you're
Him,
fucking.
Rusev, I don't understand these heel
What, we
changes.
turn Shane heel? No, we have a heel imbalance. Someone has to turn.
But
face
it's so funny because we're
You
watching.
got Elias talking on Raw like, you guys let me down. And they're just like, we're not worthy. Why are you turning him heel? Everyone loves him. Why is our truth the U.S. I'm getting
But on
angry
the-
and I don't want to get angry.
But on the plus side, Jeff Jarrett just got signed along with the Abyss and Sanjay Dutt and the Hurricane to backstage roles,
Yeah.
and Jeff Jarrett is now on screen as well.
Here comes that TNA invasion angle. Jeff Jarrett, Abyss, Sanjay Dutt, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe.
Bobby Roode.
yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Austin Air.
No.
James Storm.
No. Well, not
Frankie-
yet. We don't know.
Eric Young.
Kurt Angle?
Oh, so something someone brought up. I think it was What Culture. They're like, hey, on the plus side, we had 2 Hall of Famers in the match. Congrats to you guys for guessing Kurt Angle. But they were both married to Karen.
Oh, man.
Oh,
Hey,
boy.
There's a ladder match coming with that stipulation.
Oh, God.
There's a Karen on a pole match.
This hurts. Just stay up there, sweetheart.
This is gonna be a 40-minute match, so you better get comfortable.
Why couldn't you just put me in a shark cage? Nah, this is better.
No, guys, it's going to be a King of the Mountain match. What are you talking about?
Oh,
Jesus.
It's gonna be a reverse battle royal.
but like, all in all, I was okay with the match.
It was good. Again, I think that when we go into Rumbles,
Yeah.
I think we have very high expectations because of how the returns.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that
both
was the main.
matches were
That was the
like
main
returns.
missing part, though.
Yeah.
of this whole
No
thing.
returns. No Kevin Owens. No Bray Wyatt.
Yeah,
no
I was-
There wasn't even
Batista.
no legends.
No Sami Zayn.
No real legends
There were
ones.
definitely opportunities missed, especially in the men's. Now the women's match, I expected there to be a lot less returns because you had every return under the sun in last year's because it was the first one. So you knew it was going to be more fun. You knew NXT was kind of going to take over. You knew it.
Which they literally did.
Yeah,
So I saw
take
that.
over. Ha ha ha. Yeah. And so, but when you have the men's match, Kurt Angle was very good, but very predictable. Hence why I predicted it.
Very old.
And he's been around. Jeff Jarrett was fine for the moment. It was a little, but there was no Kevin Owens, no Bray Wyatt, no Batista.
The Bray
no
Wyatt
Sami
one,
Zayn.
I think, was like the most insulting.
Damn.
That was a shock. I mean, me and Joe picked Bray Wyatt, and the whole time we're like, and this has nothing to do with winning, just in general. Like, you're not having Bray Wyatt show up.
Can I just bring up something really quick? Jeff Hardy, he looked like a fuck. Like what the fuck? He was dressed up like a salmon, like a fish.
I mean, that is the
It's
gimmick.
just-
That is
yeah, it's
that is
just-
the gimmick.
No Matt Hardy. He didn't have a showdown with anyone.
Nothing.
No Kevin
Brother
Owens to come
Nero.
back to eliminate Bobby
Like, you started
Lashley.
doing
Yeah.
the delete thing. We're like, Brother Nero?
Like, it wasn't a bad match, but now you're. The thing I was most excited about was Johnny Gargano.
Yeah,
I was most excited
Aleister
about.
Black.
But again, that was more predictable. I really did not think Gargano was showing up.
Props to you, Jim,
Yeah.
for getting Aleister Black.
I thought it was. Yeah, I thought it was either going to be
Yeah,
Aleister.
but I think it's because they're saving Velveteen Dream just until probably later. Like,
Well, we're gonna
He's
go
gonna
into
be in a
Velveteen
lot-
Dream.
Yeah, but he's going to be in a lot of stuff.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, and that
Worlds
title
Collide,
change.
He's going to
Maybe.
be at
Did you hear about
Halftime
that?
Heat, which they did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to talk about that.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that.
But it
Um,
was a spoiler. Don't do what CJ did and ruin
Well, it's
we
a
wanna
possible
talk-
spot.
No,
Well,
it's
well-
not possible. It's
No, it's
definite.
a
I read the
spoiler.
taping.
All right, we'll get to it.
All
So,
right, but one thing I did want to bring up, two big things. First off, what the fuck, Lashley?
Yeah.
Not only did he not have most eliminations like you guys predicted,
He was one of the
gone.
shortest. Yeah. And second, what the fuck, Drew?
Drew, I'm not as
No,
mad about. It's
third.
more like, what the fuck, Dolph?
What the fuck, Dean?
What the fuck, everyone?
yeah, we're at number. Well, he came out at 29, Dolph, right? Was Dolph? 20,
No, he
what
was
He
20,
was 28 or 7.
28.
28?
Yeah, I think it was 28.
Okay.
Something
I just
like that.
remember me and Joe like, come on, break. I'm here to show the world. Oh, my God.
And then he eliminates Drew, and I'm like, Drew?
We were so shocked by the Ambrose elimination. Ambrose goes out, and we go, wait a minute. That was Jimmy and CJ's part of their Final Four. We didn't even think it was going to happen. I'm like, wait, Ambrose just got eliminated.
Yeah, it was...
Yeah, and then Drew gets eliminated.
Again, it was not bad. I think we have very high hopes coming Rumble season because we always want a buttload of returns.
Props to you guys with the whole Braun and Andrade, though.
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah.
Okay, so I need to bring this one up, which I found probably the funniest thing. R-Truth. R-Truth, number 30. Did not happen.
Well, we were right in that they were going to treat R-Truth like shit, but we thought he was actually going to enter the match.
Was the shortest
Right.
amount.
The shortest one
Right.
for the men's, I think, went back and forth, I think, more than the women. It was like
They have a
Titus
lot of ones
O'Neil,
in there.
Jinder Mahal.
I think Titus was it.
I think
Yeah,
Titus was
I
it.
love that Titus spot with Kurt Hawkins. It's like, you're not getting me this time. Like, sees Kurt like, fuck.
I love. Wait, hold on. I love when Titus was coming up. He was running, gets to that corner, starts slowing himself down. Like, no, not gonna happen, and then sees Kurt Hawkins. Like, wait.
And then he also puts his hands up to the ground, like, yeah, I did it.
And then sees Kurt. Is like, wait a minute. Now I have to go chase him.
I just said that.
Why?
But
Titus was my second choice.
It was.
I like,
It's true.
Truth or Titus.
He's right. And I can say that when we were going through the picks, we were like, it's either Truth or Titus. And we went with Truth. I mean, it didn't matter in the long run,
Yeah.
but...
yeah, so Nia coming in, I want to save this for the main event stuff because I wanted to talk about Nia as a whole because there's a lot to talk about.
All right.
Yeah. But Final Four: Braun, Andrade, Seth, and Dolph.
Yep, that was the one we
I
Okay,
like-
so that whole Final Four was like, we're making sure Dolph doesn't leave for AEW. That was my thing.
Yeah, but
I never really thought he was leaving, personally. I just never thought it was going to happen.
up soon, and
I suppose I
guarantee-
think he's just doing his comedian stuff and he'll be back. That's really what I think.
But yeah, Dolph.
Eh?
But I was happy with Braun because Braun was the reason why Drew did not get the most eliminations. Because at the time Drew was tied with Samoa Joe, and I'm like, that would count.
Yeah, like I was saying to I was just saying to myself, like if Drew doesn't, Braun will.
Yeah,
And he
Braun was a monster.
Yeah.
By the way, Joe, you were right. Braun got 13 eliminations at the Greatest Royal Rumble. I looked it up.
Okay,
Sweet Mary.
So technically, he owns the Royal Rumble record.
he owns the Royal
Oh yeah,
Rumble.
hold on. Before what the fuck was up with Kane? Can we, not Kane,
Yeah, no, not
Shinsuke.
Kane.
Oh.
His outfit, because we talked.
It's Naka Kane. I don't know. Like,
Not Kane Mora.
not Kane Moore. I like that one better.
Well, because Kane's the mayor. It's the United States of Knock America again. There's like
No, but it's not the R-Truth that's the best.
It's
wasn't
the
like
truth
a
of
day.
America right now.
Yeah,
I don't-
Truth. So Truth on SmackDown beat Nakamura in a roll up, and then beat Rusev in a roll up.
And then Rusev and Nakamura got together. Rusev turned heel.
But I like the
And then
United
they
States
beat
of
up our
Truth.
Truth.
I like the United States of Truth.
Look,
And the Big Brothers stood up for truth and are probably gonna get buried.
Yeah.
Look, R-Truth's fun. I mean, you want to give him a belt for a month, fine. But you shouldn't be doing this at the expense of good guys like Rusev. It's just, what the hell?
I
But-
would pick Nicholas to win a U.S. Championship match over Rusev.
Yeah,
he
seriously.
returns. He returns at Mania.
Oh my God.
Nicholas versus R-Truth. Oh, no. So it's Nicholas
Oh, fuck.
versus Little Jimmy with R-Truth in his corner.
And little Jimmy just hornswoggle.
But, yeah, congrats to Seth.
Yeah.
Seth was my Iron Man pick. Thank you, Seth.
Even though he's dead for half the time.
Yes, but it still counts.
Fucking ridiculous.
I mean, that's how you do. I mean, that's how the Iron Man works. Is that he puts in a lot of offense in the beginning, and when he gets in, then takes a nap, then goes
That's
in for a couple
Italian.
things.
Ask
I mean, it's
Natalia.
exactly. It's the same thing.
Yeah,
like,
where's
that's what happened
Natalia?
with
She's
Roman.
sleeping in
That's
the
what
corner.
happened
Get
with
out of the
Jericho.
ring.
Like, it just.
And now we get Rollins versus Brock, which
It's not bad, but
That's
I mean,
fine.
they had
Expecting
an
Rollins
opportunity
to
to
win.
do something
Rollins
kind of
gonna win,
different
right?
by putting Drew there.
Drew was
Drew,
the
I think,
only
would've
other
been-
option.
I think it
Yeah.
would have been a cool. They need to do something different.
I
It's not like this isn't different, but
should have done either Rollins. It would be either Rollins, Brock, or McIntyre, Strowman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Rollins and Brock, I'm excited for because they have so much history that they could tap into for.
And Rollins still has never been Universal Champion. Like even though he's been at the forefront always, we feel like it's just the same old thing. But there's some, like you said, there's old stuff, but there's also new stuff. Like you can.
And Seth also can work with Brock, like Balor and Punk.
Yeah, and also
Bryan
with Brock, Seth was the reason why Brock lost the championship, and Brock was never able to defeat Seth like that.
Yeah.
They have so much history from 2015.
Please don't make it Seth Rollins takes as long as Roman Reigns did to beat Brock. Just at this
No,
point.
Seth's gonna squash Brock. Don't you know?
Yeah, right.
Curb stomp 10
Oh,
seconds. Like
can I ask this? Who's the man? Is it Becky or is it Seth?
it's not Seth.
It's Becky.
It's Becky. What is wrong with you? This was settled on Twitter by the two of them. What are you talking
I know.
about?
That's gonna be a good topic. Like, who's actually the man? That should be another.
Yeah, now we
podcast
have to redo our previous one that we talked about.
Who's the man?
Who's
An
the real
actual man or a woman? The woman.
All right. So, do you want to get into SmackDown or Raw? But is there like anything else we really want to talk about that can be saved into the AEW Nia Jax stuff?
Well, we should definitely recap TakeOver.
Yeah, that's the next step. TakeOver, fucking great.
Yeah.
My God.
Not as great as expected.
My God.
Maybe even better.
I have no words for what they do so consistently.
It's called Triple H.
It is called Triple H.
But it's also the stars though. Everyone. A few weeks ago, I'm gonna be honest. A few weeks ago, I didn't even hear Bianca Belair, and I'm just like, are you kidding?
Well, according to that one dude who was doing the pre-show,
Sam Roberts,
he felt the same way.
Yeah.
Well, he felt a way in a negative way, not so.
The lashes on Baszler from her hair. Oh my God.
It's insane.
I'm like, the hair can do that to somebody? It's
Yeah.
like 10 pounds
Yeah,
of
when she debuted in the the first women's
Mae Young Classic.
First Mae Young's Classic.
Yeah.
I did not think that the hair was that big of a spot, but until now,
It's a big fucking
it's a big
spot.
it's a big fucking deal.
Baszler used it to like ram her into the steel.
Yeah, so I'd like to go. Let's go in order here. The first one was Undisputed Era
War
against
Raiders.
the War Raiders, which is already up for maybe best tag team match of the year.
Fantastic. The entrance was amazing.
I'm speechless for what those two tag teams can do. Undisputed Era works so well together. They know how to just do that heel stuff, and they're so smart. It's like I don't know. It's the intellectual stuff from that team is unbelievable. And then you got the War Raiders, who might be one of the best physical specimens I have ever seen.
Killian Dane should join the War Raiders.
Yeah.
I still want to see a War Raiders Bludgeon Brothers feud.
I'm done with Bludgeon Brothers.
Yeah, Joe, you're the only one still on that train. Let's move on
Bludgeon
here.
Brothers were the Wyatt family, like they're supposed to. Then yeah, I would love to see.
But yeah, the War Raiders, I
I
Amazing.
want to see him versus Braun Strowman and see how that worked out.
That would be scary.
It'd be super scary.
yeah. So yeah, that match was absolutely incredible.
And then you had the Shayna Baszler. Oh no, you had Matt Riddle and Cassius Ohno.
For the third time, still good though. Still good.
I loved the submission where he just kept elbowing him in the face until he tapped.
Yeah, and and the whole time, Cassius Ohno keeps messing with his feet, and we're just like, put on shoes. This is gonna happen again to you. Wear shoes. I'm screaming at the television. He's gonna do something to you. Oh, he did it. Put on shoes.
Stepped on your feet.
Wait, yeah.
And it's like, I can't even say, like, Cassius, that's a bad, but no, it's not. He's barefoot in a wrestling match. You don't want to put on shoes?
Rusev did that.
Yeah, Rusev did do that.
And then he wore shoes after getting injured.
If I remember correctly, Rusev wore like those what is it, like ankle guard things.
Yeah, he at least
UFC
had those.
That UFC fighters usually
But when
have.
he wasn't wearing actual boots, he was winning matches. Clearly.
Oh my God.
Well, to be
my
fair in that, he was actually winning matches with boots on before that.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, he was.
What was he winning? He
The
beat
U- he had the
Kalisto.
long- He had an undefeated record for most of the year.
That was without shoes.
Yeah, it was without shoes.
No, he didn't start wearing shoes until like the whole Ziggler era.
The
I'm gonna
boots
look this
are
up.
like Jim Carrey's mask. They turn him into a bad wrestler.
Yes.
Basically, what this all means is, Matt, for God's sake, put on some shoes. You're going to get hurt. It's going to happen. But it was still a very good match. You could call it the weakest match on the card,
But that's
it
not
still
even...
was not bad. And then you have to break into Johnny Gargano against Ricochet. I want to.
CJ and I gave it 5 stars before we left
Yeah.
the studio.
Yeah, and
5 stars. Right?
that's the thing that was just. I mean, there's so many things that are impressive, and I really want to talk about this one and give it its due diligence here. When you go into a match thinking 5 stars and it delivers and more. I mean,
Johnny Gargano is literally the best in-ring psychologist in the world today.
I think we
This
need
would be
to.
his third 5-star match.
I think we really need to start talking about putting Ricochet and Johnny Gargano up there as the best wrestlers in the entire world. Those two. I mean, Ricochet had that credit when he was on the Indies. Now he's in WWE, so you see a lot of more people taking notice.
Yeah.
Johnny Gargano is unbelievable.
He is literally the greatest character investment in the world of wrestling
He
today.
is astounding.
And he
Astounding.
had 3 5-star matches with 3 different people.
You bring and the two of them, man. Wow.
Like it's an argument that Johnny could be better than Kenny because Kenny was only able to get like great matches out of like 2 people.
Yeah. I mean, you.
Well, does Naito not count as 2 people?
No, it's Okada and Jericho. He got a 5-star match out of Jericho.
Well, I'm saying,
Yeah, he did.
even though they had like 4 6-star matches with Okada, does that count?
Right. Well, I think that. I think that at the end of the day, you probably say Styles and Omega are probably the 2 best in the world because that's
I think
just,
Gargano has to be made in there
I think
now.
you put and Ricochet and Rick. Shut up, Joe. Ricochet and Johnny Gargano are both have to firmly be placed into this discussion now.
Yes.
100%. After watching that match,
I just also loved with like Gargano. He was very like conflicted with
the
how much
storytelling
was amazing.
outstanding. How he brings him over to the cement floor
And
and leaves and brings him back, and it was. And then at the end where he says, "I win," it's amazing. It's amazing, and that's all you can really say. It just leaves you speechless.
Gargano's first singles win on TakeOver.
Mm-hmm. Just for a belt, yeah.
No, in general.
I thought he had like 1 or 2 wins.
No, he had no wins on Takeover.
Nothing really. Oh my god.
Yeah,
He was
you know,
always putting people
Tommaso Ciampa was unsanctioned.
Which is why we
Right.
couldn't finish the match of the year because it was unsanctioned, never happened.
Well, that takes the air out of my lungs.
On that note, I gotta go punch a clock.
All right. Bye, Joe. Joe's
Bye,
got to go to
Joe.
work.
Have fun at work.
We'll miss you.
And just remember, Shane McMahon is a god.
Yeah, he's something. All right. So, yeah, that match just. I mean, any more thoughts you guys want to add on that match? I mean, it's just.
There's something I want to talk about, but we got to talk about Aleister Black and Tommaso first. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Tommaso's a freaking brutal motherfucker.
Yeah.
And, like, master of mind games. I love it.
Yeah, he's just. It was just such a contrast from, the pure in-ring stuff of Gargano and Ricochet.
Joe! Stop it.
And then you have that, and then you have just the psychology of Black Ciampa, and where just Ciampa is just breaking Black down the whole
Hard.
match. It was just so smart,
Yes.
and you just don't see these matches on the main roster.
And I don't think
see
we
it.
ever will.
For some reason. And it's so indicative with Styles and Bryan when you get 2 guys that don't need any flair, no pun intended, and crazy stuff to happen or interferences, and they could just sit down and have a match.
I think also the match card also affects it too. The match card and the length as well.
Yeah. NXT will only have 4 or 5 matches. There's no time limit issues. They could do whatever the hell they want.
Yeah.
It's and then Baszler Belair was very good too, and Belair is a hell of an athlete, and I think me and many people around are now seeing her for the first time in a match, and
It shows she
I
can
think
hold
that
her
was-
own.
Yes, absolutely. Hair be damned. It was still, So I put my hat up for TakeOver. I tip my hat. They are incredible. Triple H, the booking, the athletes, it's all unbelievable. People are saying they want to get them on an actual TV channel. I say you keep them on WWE's network because that's how you make your money. You give you $9.99 a month. It's worth it. They are so incredible. Even regular NXT shows are outstanding. It's all amazing.
I think something else we got to talk about is how they're bringing NXT back with Halftime Heat.
Yes.
Halftime show.
Yes.
Which
At the Super Bowl this
Yeah.
coming
It's a very good idea.
I think.
I'm
mean-
glad considering the fact that all the halftime shows since maybe 2014, 2013.
It depends what you think. I mean, like if you like Lady Gaga, she was very good. She was.
I'm just waiting for Maroon 5 to do the Sweet Victory.
Yeah.
But
Because they need to, considering,
the way they built it up was insane. They have Velveteen Dream. Well, first off, how the show ended with TakeOver was just beautiful.
Elimination Chamber? Do you think that's where we're going?
No,
That's where I thought. And there's a big rumor that's what's happening.
If it's an elimination chamber match for Sunday,
you bring all. No. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying, the reason these 6 started to fight, I don't think it's just because of this halftime thing. I could definitely see
a 6-way. Yeah, I could
in the chamber.
That would be cool. That'd be a great way to spotlight NXT.
That would be outstanding.
An NXT chamber match. That's not bad.
That would be something else. All 6 of them. Oh man.
I think that would be a great way to expose them on the product too. But that would just be 3 chambers.
What do you? Well, I'm talking about you could make it set. Well, you make it on like the takeover, like on the takeover.
I don't think they're gonna have another takeover until Mania though.
They could still put in the like you don't have to you could still have a chamber match not around the time of Elimination Chamber. You know what I mean? Like
they just funnel in the chamber into the
I think
Florida studio.
Where this is going, I could see Gargano versus Ciampa. I don't know if you want to get into the spoiler, Jimmy. I'm not sure if you want the spoiler for NXT.
Well, we don't know.
No, it was confirmed. It was confirmed.
It was?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
Velveteen Dream is the new North American champion.
Are you sure? It is?
I read the spoilers.
See, what I read was Velveteen Dream beat Gargano.
Yeah.
Walked away. Match ended. Gargano came back into the ring, put Velveteen and Gargano escape. Velveteen Dream tapped. Gargano took the belt back, stood tall next to Ciampa.
Oh, he did do
in
that.
the ramp, and held the belt.
Yeah, but Velveteen
was
still
it.
won. Spoiler, title change at tonight's NXT.
I don't know about that.
No, because if it was technically a match that Velveteen Dream won to win the belt, Gargano can't just take the match right now and then beat him up for it.
But why?
Unless it was sanctioned.
Why take the belt and people are thinking that because it was a taping that it could be 2 endings and they're deciding whether or not to show one of them.
A second finish was filmed for the live crowd.
There you go.
What?
That's what I'm saying. I'm telling you, what we don't know who actually won. Velveteen won the match. Gargano came back post-match, no bell, no nothing, tapped out.
They
Dream.
redid the finish.
Yes.
So now we don't know about.
Is that coming up this?
In a couple weeks.
Couple weeks.
So we don't know if he's going to be champion.
Not know. Now there's a chance that this week's tapings could spoil it. Whether they show, you know what I mean, like whether they show the match or not, because it's in a couple weeks. But yes, the big thing is Triple H is fucking with all of us, and now for the live crowd, that's got to be a pain in the ass and mass confusion. But for everybody else,
that's actually good because then that's how you not spoil an
yeah.
NXT show by doing
but for everyone else, yeah, there are what it seems to be is there are 2 outcomes that got filmed, and.
I didn't read that second filming.
That's what I was
saying.
Dream won the match, but then Gargano came back and took the belt and pinned him. And there was so we don't know who is North American champion right now. We have no idea. And that is again yet another testament to how amazing NXT is. Where even tapings we don't even understand.
I love NXT.
Yeah, it really is amazing.
Right, so you want to take a break and then we'll get into the other 2 topics we have after an hour.
Yeah, after an hour of talking straight aftermath stuff. All right.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. So we discussed this on the commercial break. We're going to plug in our next main event topic for next week. But this week,
towards the end of the show, we still have one more thing that we want to talk about.
So it's been confirmed that Dean Ambrose is going to be leaving WWE and not renewing his contract following WrestleMania 35. Yeah.
I think it's shocking to me. It's very shocking. There's a rumor going around that it might actually be a work.
The only reason why I think it could be a work is because
WWE acknowledged it so
and they never
directly.
acknowledge it
So directly. They didn't say the future endeavors thing. It's more of just Dean's leaving in 3 months. We hope he comes back soon. I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
It's very shocking. He always seemed like just a WWE guy. It's very surprising. I know the booking hasn't been good with his heel turn, but also, and I was telling Joe this, some of it's his fault too. It's not WWE's fault that Rollins Ambrose match was terrible.
Yeah, and like you can also see that with like the Stone Cold podcast with Dean Ambrose, he was very like lackadaisical and stuff. And
yeah,
you would think Stone Cold would light a fire under Dean Ambrose, but the fact that he didn't.
It's one of those things where it's going to benefit Dean no matter what. Because either A, he leaves and turns back into his Moxley character where he's completely insane, whether it's AEW or wherever he goes. Or B, he stays in WWE and he gets to reshape his character from this and he gets a lot of publicity from it. So it's a positive no matter how you spin it.
Yeah.
For Dean.
I think Dean is probably going to leave.
That's what it seems like, but it's one of those things where it's just, I'll believe it when I see it. He's
Yeah,
just
I
such a
agree with
WWE guy that I still, it's very hard for me to grit that he's actually leaving, especially when WWE acknowledged it. And Dave Meltzer said that he looked into executives in WWE, and not even they know if it's real or not.
That's the crazy part. And I can see, the thing is, if this is true, AEW is going to snatch up Dean hard. And they're going to snatch it up quick. And that's the scary part. Because imagine they get Chris Jericho and Dean Ambrose jumping ship.
Yeah.
That's insane.
They could have another Ambrose Asylum match.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah, but it would actually be better, though, because they would probably actually get some real blood and stuff in there.
Yeah. Not Mitch the Plant.
Jared, I know we talked about AEW a number of weeks ago, and then I brought it up with Joe last week. What are your thoughts on AEW?
I think it is absolutely fantastic. That's my opinion. I think it is fantastic right now. And my reasoning is because WWE has had no competition for so long, and they're just resting on their laurels, putting out bad crap.
Yes.
And now you have something with financial backing, a lot of talent, and what seems like they could even get a network, a Ted Turner network, which we all know how Ted Turner feels about Vince McMahon.
Yep.
So actually thinking about that whole aspect of if they would get a TV spot. If they get a traditional TV spot, I don't know how much they would actually logically how much eyes would actually go towards TNT.
Well,
it's a free cable channel, but like how many people are?
It depends what day and time you put it on. You want to stay away from Monday and Tuesday. You don't want to start competing,
or
with
even
WWE.
Monday and Friday.
They'll stop. Right.
Well, because they actually own a right, like a copyrighted thing for Tuesday's showing. Which isn't bad. It is a good night.
AEW?
Yeah, AEW.
Oh, okay.
So it's not bad that they put it on Tuesday. My thinking, though, behind it is that it's not going to be good if they get a Turner deal is because of basketball season. Basketball season between the early winter to early summer is going to suck.
There's competition on every day. Every day there's competition. The biggest things you want to stay away from.
People are going to be watching basketball, and basketball has been great.
Mondays and Fridays are obviously you don't want to touch the weekends. But
Wednesday
Mondays
would probably be the best.
Wednesday's the best day. I feel as though Wednesday's the best day. Monday and Friday are going to be the toughest. Obviously Monday for a plethora of reasons. I mean, not even WWE can compete with Monday Night Football. AEW will get squashed.
Yeah,
but this is the other thing that I was thinking. Like, what if it better if it was on a streaming service? If it was on, like, let's say Hulu, which I think is a more viable.
You're losing the power that AEW has right now. AEW right now is flaunting so much and making them seem like such a threat.
Yeah,
I
but
feel
if
like
they're
it would
on
be
Hulu right now actually lowered its basic tier package, which is basically TV shows with commercials from $7.99 to $6.99. More people are going to be more enticed to go to that streaming service.
No, they're not.
Yeah, I don't know about
that. Because Hulu's been going downstream because of it too. They're doing this out of desperation because there's not much to get.
Well, they get all the same kind of TV showings that go on live on cable just a day later.
Yeah, but like
So
there's
they
not
put
good
AEW on
shows on cable.
I feel as though
False.
AEW
I completely
is.
disagree with that.
I feel as though AEW has the responsibility now with what they've done to go on television.
I'm gonna agree with that because like
Whether Hulu is a good idea or not, and I'm not even.
My problem
I
with
feel,
it is that I don't feel like enough people are going to go toward, like, how many people sit down and watch Raw or SmackDown? Honestly.
2 million.
All right, 2 million.
2 million.
All right,
or more than 2 million, really.
Okay, and those are between casual people that know of WWE and hard wrestling fans.
Sure.
How often do you guys watch Raw and SmackDown?
I don't have cable.
Every week.
Exactly.
Well, but he watches it
Every week.
Yeah.
Every week.
Well, I made it known that I watch the YouTube stuff with Raw and SmackDown, and I think the business model is changing. But the thing is, just because they have,
I think
just because they have a TV deal doesn't mean that they're going to get rid of their deal with Fight TV, which
Well,
they
no,
could also stream episodes on there as well. They could also
I'm not
YouTube.
I'm not saying that either. I'm just saying like, if they're going to be a new company, it's something different from WWE. I would say go do something.
Right now,
See, like
That's my thing, because if they're falling into similar trappings of, how the business used to be,
the business is still based off of TV ratings.
See, I feel that them doing TV is how they jump the shark. You gotta just go, pun intended, all in.
Well, getting the product on a certain video and then getting the most eyes on it is how they're doing it.
If you have Chris Jericho and you have all this money, you're doing it. You got to go balls to the wall and do it. That's my opinion.
I don't disagree with it, and I'm not saying it's not a bad idea. I'm just, I think if they really want to try something different and really pour eyes, because if, like you said, if Chris Jericho's on it, they're going to watch.
Right.
Why not put it on a Hulu where it's going to draw more eyes?
Because I think more people have cable than they have...
Or Netflix or whatever.
I think more people have cable than they do streaming services.
100%.
And that's the god...
What about the older generation that wants to watch Chris Jericho? They're not going to go on a streaming thing. They're going to watch TV.
But I mean,
you're thinking about it as we do. We love streaming services. We love that. That's how we're immersed. Not many people have cable.
Yeah.
But even so, watching wrestling on a streaming service such as like Hulu and stuff, it's a different aspect than watching it live. I can agree with that. But at the same time, for a new company, they can look at the El Rey network with Lucha Underground.
Well, those aren't live shows regardless. They're episodic TV shows with a completely different product.
But you're not listening. Jeez, they put it on Netflix and then they got rid of it. They did it in a way where it's like they had to try it on television, but they put it on a crappy network. Imagine Lucha Underground on something like TNT or TBS, more eyes would be on the product. The fact that Ted Turner is backing TNT, TBS like that, and you can get it on there. It's a more prominent network, and they could still have the Fight TV and the YouTube, but to get Hulu and to get Netflix, that takes time, and that takes something along the lines of you have to prove that your product is good to be on Netflix and Hulu.
And I think you're undercutting what you're doing. I think when you're that popular, you're doing Hulu and stuff is kind of disrespectful to your own product. You think you're so big, you're making it seem like you can compete with WWE. Do it.
Yeah, do it on the TV. And they're not even trying to compete.
Well, right. They're just trying to compare themselves. They're trying to earn respect in the industry and rival with WWE. Don't just. It's like a cop out to me.
There's no denying that streaming services are good, and I could see your point.
Yes.
That to get them on streaming services, but the initial launch should be on a TV network.
You have the money. You have the talent.
It's not a matter of saving money. It's a matter of making an impact.
The risk of doing it is just you crap out right then and there, and I get that. But when you flaunt what you've had, and you have these rallies outside the Jaguars Stadium, and you have Chris Jericho, and you have what you would assume will be Kenny Omega, Cody Rhodes, Young Bucks, so on and so forth, I think you owe it to the fans that are very big on AEW right now, very interested in it, to do it right and go in. And I'm going to be honest with you, I think it's going to work. I really like their product. I like what they're doing. I'm curious to see
what's being said.
I'm curious to see what happens
in a merchandise aspect.
Yeah.
To say that they have a full product right now, I think.
No, it's still in the works. It's still in the works. But I'm curious to see what they do.
The potential is there.
I'm curious to see what they do with the writers. I'm curious to
There are no writers.
Well, I know that's what I'm saying. Like I'm curious to see who winds up writing, how they craft things. I think eventually they're probably going to need writers. I think it's hard for just
Well, they do it
in-ring.
they do it for independent people all the time. It's just,
I know, but
it's
if you're on TV, if you wind up going on TV, things are commercials. Your chances are they're going to need writers. I think it's going to happen. I'd be shocked if they don't.
But as of right now, I think getting producers and stuff, until they have something like a TV deal, they don't have to worry about writers.
Right. Correct. I'm curious to see how this goes. I think at the end of the day, it's good for us.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it is good for us.
It's good for us. More wrestling, hopefully better wrestling. It's going to make AEW good, makes WWE raise its game, and at the end of the day, it's good for us.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Something I'm going to want to bring up, and I'm going to jump the gun. We're going to talk about Nia, and I think that AEW is the reason why they're going to push Nia to where she is right now. And we're going to talk, because we have like 20 minutes. All right. Sorry about yelling, Jim, but I'm like, ugh.
No, I know, it's fine. I understand.
All right. So Nia, she entered the Men's Royal Rumble. She got rid of R-Truth. She eliminated Mustafa Ali. Then she took a super kick to the face.
An RKO and a 619.
A 619 and an RKO. Rey Mysterio looked terribly
Needed
like guilty.
3 people to get rid of her.
Yeah, 3 former world champions. Next night on Raw, she goes to attack Dean Ambrose. Now, I'm going to say the good things and bad things with Nia Jax, because Nia as a whole is a huge topic right now. First, it seems that Nia is the testing grounds, and Jimmy's going to love this, intergender wrestling.
Finally!
They're testing the waters to see how...
You're too late, but finally.
It's not too late, because I think this is a good time to start it now. They tested the waters with an all-women's pay-per-view. They're testing the waters with women main eventing. I think this is now the natural progression to get the intergender wrestling as a more serious sport. Because that's what I think. I think it is time to test the waters, and I think the way Nia is doing it is a good way to test it.
Yes.
And it's looking like it could be Dean Ambrose versus Nia at Mania.
I don't know about that.
I
don't know about that.
Well, what do you guys think of the intergender wrestling as a whole?
I think, like you just said,
good, but I think
there's a difference. You just said testing the waters. Putting Nia Jax and Dean at WrestleMania is not testing the waters. That's too much. I think testing the waters is a good idea. I'm not sure how sustainable it is because Nia is obviously very big. She can wrestle with the guys. It's hard. What are you gonna do with Alexa Bliss? Like it's hard.
And put her with a cruiserweight.
Well, I was just about to say that you put Alexa Bliss with a cruiserweight, aren't you kind of undercutting the women's division a little bit by saying like, look who they, you know what I mean? And there's nothing against 205 Live, but you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not sure how sustainable it is, but again, there's no issue with testing the waters. I don't think it's a bad thing. I thought it was interesting having her in the Rumble. She wasn't terrible once she hit the ring. Now, where she was bad is, and this is not alleged, is injuring R-Truth.
Yes.
Actually injuring R-Truth.
There was
taking him, throwing him, and breaking where he hit.
There was a thing actually. What Culture brought it up because they brought up Nia Jax's backstage heat, and they're like, "Oh, what about Seth? Seth's injured people. Seth had over 1,000 matches, only injured 3 on an average.
2 of which are Sting and Balor from the Buckle Bomb, right?
Yes,
and both of them have said it was not his fault.
That's what they said. The funny part is they said that Seth Rollins only injured caused an injury in 1 out of every 300 something matches. You watched that video? Yeah. Nia has had
39 and a half matches.
She's had 300 something matches. She's
10 known incidents from Nia Jax. 10. Ty Dillinger.
So Jimmy, what do you think about all this? You could start with intergender, and I know you like talking.
Okay. So if we're gonna start with intergender, I think that testing the waters is a good step forward. Granted, yes, I wanted it a bit earlier, and I still believe that. But if they're going to do it, doing it now would probably be the best chance. I don't know if starting with Nia Jax is the best move.
Because she injures?
Well, yes, but who else can you start with?
It's regardless of that, though. They actually have talented people who actually have been in intergender matches.
Yes.
Shayna Baszler.
Candice LeRae.
Becky
Lynch.
Becky
Lynch has been in intergender with Joey Ryan.
She's been in with Joey Ryan? Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah, look it up.
I will actually. But like I said, like those 3 women.
Ronda
right there are
Rousey.
crazy. She doesn't count.
She literally took Triple H to school.
Does not count. Don't even give me that bullcrap.
Ronda Rousey
One match
could be
between
a
them.
WWE World Champion.
Oh yeah, she could. She could. I'm not denying that. I'm just saying.
She
like,
could murder Rollins.
That's that. I'm not denying that.
CrossFit Jesus versus the UFC God. But like when we talk about it, there's more.
Like if you put like similar people with similar, I guess, body structures and that look like they can actually go at it with like a real fight, like a Ronda Rousey versus a Seth Rollins, that's believable.
Yes.
If you put someone like, I don't know, Brock Lesnar against fucking Charlotte's gonna fucking die.
Nah, screw that, Alexa Bliss.
No,
let's just really.
No,
hammer
no,
Like
this
if
no,
we're
home.
gonna
Bayley.
okay, fine, we're gonna go
Bayley
to
versus Brock. WrestleMania 36.
Yeah, let's just really hammer this home, guys.
really go from 10 to 1 on this.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's Alexa Bliss versus fucking Braun Strowman.
No,
Let's do
bigger.
that.
Great Khali. We
Kali versus Natalia.
We're going all in on this here.
Well, like I said, like
Well-
they're not gonna do like those kind of matches because that's ridiculous. And if you're gonna do it, like do it in some way that's both realistic looking, but at the same time is clearly fit.
yeah.
Well, let's look at the people that could actually transition into that intergender role, at least on the women's side. You have Nia Jax, Ronda Rousey.
I mean, Jimmy, you pretty much said it when you have Shayna Baszler.
Shayna Baszler.
Like you said it. I think.
All the 4 horsewomen of MMA.
Yes.
Becky
have-
Lynch, Charlotte.
You could do all 4 of the WWE 4 horsewomen.
Yes.
You could do
Ember Moon. I can see Ember Moon.
No.
See, like
I can't
that's.
see Ember Moon. I
See-
can see Lacey Evans. Lacey Evans could
Well,
definitely.
she's
do
very
it.
big. But
Rhea Ripley.
Who do you
Yeah,
have?
Rhea
Bayley?
Ripley. My God,
Well,
Rhea
she-
Ripley
yeah.
would be fucking.
Who do you have Bayley and Sasha face though?
That's the thinking.
those
I
two
don't
are
think they
tricky.
can transition well.
Those two are tricky. Becky and Charlotte for sure, but I don't know
That's-
about
I
Sasha
think
and Bayley.
You're putting in the size in there, and that's a reasonable thing to put
It's
in.
very big.
But you're forgetting how amazing wrestlers that both Sasha and Bayley are.
I know, but it's hard
Because
as a
Bayley
as a
is
fan
roughly
to
about the
buy
same
in.
size as Finn Balor. You're forgetting about that.
Yeah, but you're not gonna have them fight Finn Balor, and that's one guy.
That's one guy that it's on the men's side.
We're just talking about a realistic transition right now.
Yeah, I think it's
you're
hard.
Testing the waters.
Yeah,
Okay,
I know
fine.
nothing
All
wrong
right.
with testing the waters.
Okay, fair enough. Like, if we're not going to test the waters, I would put them on reserves because honestly, I think
Yeah,
they would.
because
but if you want to put him like right in the right spot, right then and there for the testing, that's fine.
Yeah, I
understand
think over time we can have more and more, but there has to be some air of believability.
And you also have to talk about, I believe it's Mattel who are so against.
Yeah, that's another thing. That's the only reason why they don't have intergender wrestling.
Yeah, I think
that.
that
I don't understand the reasoning behind it.
they
much.
just don't want.
They just don't want it.
it's-
Like, I don't
in,
get
in
the
this
reason.
day and age,
do you-
they're very against women.
Do you think AEW is pushing this though?
Yes, they
Do you
have
think-
Joey
do you
Ryan.
think-
They
it
could be.
They're
Yeah.
gonna probably get Joey Ryan. Yes, of course.
Oh, something with AEW I forgot to mention. Guess who they just invited to AEW?
Who?
The Lucha Brothers, Pentagon Jr. and Fenix.
Yes.
They've been everywhere. They're
They're popping up all over the indie
They've
scene.
been linked in a lot of places. They were even linked with WWE for a little bit.
Yeah.
They've been linked in a lot of places.
Pentagon Jr. was a former Impact Heavyweight Champion and Lucha Underground Champion. Fenix was Gets of Gods Champion. They were both seen at the All In pay-per-view. Pentagon Jr. had an excellent match against Kenny Omega. So we could still revisit that
Both are
feud.
very, very good.
But I think AEW is going to be pushing WWE to try and do these new things. And intergender wrestling, I think.
I really hope that they do. Like, if that's the catalyst of them doing it, like, they should have shown up sooner.
I
but-
think it's again. I like testing the waters. I like the idea personally. I have trouble thinking that it's going to work, and that has nothing to do with the size. I'm talking about just pure Mattel standpoint.
Yeah.
I think there's way too much pushback. I think you're also going to piss a lot of people off. They finally have a match where the man wins.
I think it. I
And I'm
think
not
it
even
depends.
saying that to be controversial. I'm not saying that
No,
to
no,
say
no,
anything
no,
wrong.
no, no,
you
no,
know,
no, no, no,
I
I agree.
there's a lot of pushback in that area where you're not just having a woman beat up on James Ellsworth. You're having Randy Orton face Sasha Banks. What I'm just throwing names out and. Orton hits a very hard.
I know, but this is
There's a lot there. There's a
But
lot
this
there.
is why you have to match them up. Like,
Yes.
that actually looks realistic.
Uh-huh.
Like I said. Like,
True. Right.
um,
That's very true. I'm curious. Again, I like testing the waters, and I'm curious to see where it goes. And I think Nia Jax is an interesting place to start, and I think that's how we jump into her. She's got to go back to developmental.
I think Nia does have to go back to developmental.
I didn't say it when it first happened. When it did happen with Becky, there were a lot of people there, a lot of stuff going on. I felt that people may have been a little too harsh on her. I know she did a lot of stuff in the past, but I don't know. I just something about it made me come to her aid in that initial point. But after seeing what just happened with R-Truth, where there is no one around, you're on a ramp with a guy that's a veteran of the industry who can handle himself, and you just straight up throw him into a wall, whatever, and it broke. It was like an LED type thing, and busted it. And you have no one near you. There's no rush. You're just going into the ring. And you can't even pull that off. Yeah. That's a big problem.
Nia's the person to start intergender wrestling with, but I think that she's
got to get better first.
Yes. But if they're going to be, because I don't think they're going to send her back to developmental.
No,
I think
they won't.
I think intergender wrestling is on the horizon, at least in storyline. They might throw more of it in there. You know, Charlotte, we could see Ronda Rousey, Becky Lynch, the Four Horsewomen of MMA. Mm-hmm. Something else, again, Rhea Ripley. I could see Asuka going into the men's division, throwing on a but there are others where it's hard to see them. You know, Mandy Rose, for example. Yeah. The Iconics.
No chance.
But you could see Sonya Deville in there.
Sonya Deville, if they build her up.
Yeah, exactly.
Build her up.
They got to start pushing her.
You know, she has the potential.
She's not bad. I think Asuka won a Rumble match, right, to get a title shot or something.
Cross.
And I think Asuka beat Sonya Deville, and I just remember watching them performing, and I was like, wow, she's good.
And you could put Nikki Cross. Nikki
Cross. It's that unpredictability element. That's the only reason why I could think.
So small,
but
she's so small.
She's taken down men in NXT.
That's the same
I know.
About Daniel Bryan. Don't give me that. Small.
Well, come on. It's
a fair point.
Daniel Bryan's still a man facing a man.
Yeah, but
and the reality is Daniel Bryan is 10 times better in the ring than Nikki Cross is, and I'm sorry, that's the truth. You can't just throw every woman out regardless of talent. You have to look at size. You don't have a choice.
Yeah, but we don't know if these women have, because half of them that we probably mentioned have probably never faced a man in an actual wrestling match before. So we don't know.
The only thing that can also work in the women's favor to put more smaller women in there is that the men's division, it's not the land of giants anymore, too. And that's something we always have to keep in mind, is that the land of giants is dead.
I'll tell you one thing. It would certainly make me feel better if you put Gargano in there and Ciampa in there, like kind of smaller guys. I'll tell you right now, I trust Gargano with anyone on any gender anyway.
Candice LeRae versus Johnny Gargano.
Oh my God!
Winner gets the house.
Oh Jesus! Honestly, not the worst thing I ever heard in my entire life. So I'm very curious to see where it goes. I think at the end of the day, if you're testing the waters, Nia Jax probably is a good place to start in theory. Yes. You should send her back to developmental. They're not going to. So at the very least, you better start pairing her with people that are good with her.
I think pairing her
because Ronda's it. Ronda's the only one that we've seen that can really do it without getting hurt.
That's why I think Nia has to move on to the men's division. I think she could take on people like Dean Ambrose, Apollo. You know, she could feud with R-Truth for the United States chip. Fuck. Oh, that's a thing. Oh. That's an actual thing.
Oh my God.
No.
All right. Let's wrap this up because it's getting late, I think.
Until next time, Audio Marks.
Thank you, everyone, for staying tuned to our podcast. Special shout out to the Sachem Public Library for the continued use of their equipment and space. Continue supporting us by rating and subscribing through Patreon, Audio Boom, Stitcher, TuneIn, Castbox, Deezer, Radio Public, iHeartRadio, and the big three, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts at Marks for Life Podcast. Also, check out our YouTube channel, Marks for Life, for our podcast playlist and other content. Please follow us on our social media on Twitter at Marks for Life Pod, Instagram at Marks for Life Podcast, our Tumblr page, Marks for Life Podcast, and our Facebook page, Marks for Life Podcast. And email us at marksforlifepodcast@gmail.com for any comments, questions, or feedback. Until